to the Great American Mail Live, debunking the lies that Democrats are currently telling about voter intimidation. They also may call it suppression. Folks, we haven't done one of these in a while. We've been doing the biggest story of the day, but we've moved our daily podcast over to Twitter. We also put it up on Rumble, but we decided to come back out. We may be doing more of these. The reason we moved is because we got a couple of strikes from Twitter or from YouTube, and we didn't feel like they were appropriate. So we want to make sure that we can continue to do the work that we want to do. So if you like this show, please support us. Hit the like button. Let us know. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into what's going on here. As you know, because of the changes that we've had all across the country, a lot of states now have drop boxes. A lot of states now have mail-in voting. And because of that, a lot of people are now watching these things to see if the 2,000 mules thing happens again. And the Democrats, nobody worse than Mark Elias to go out there and try to make election changes that are favorable to Democrats. Listen, completely agree with his ability to go out and try to advocate for what he believes is appropriate. The problem is that Mark Elias is a rabid partisan, and if you disagree with him, you're a Nazi. So here he is on Mad Al explaining this latest thing from a couple of days. He's already filed 2 lawsuits. As per usual, Great American Mail, the Florida and Georgia lawyer that breaks down the news and events of the day through the lens of the law, the Constitution, and history. We're going to go to the lawsuits. Going to show them to you and show you that it's completely baseless what he's saying here. But let's get a flavor for what he's claiming is happening right now in the United States of America, Arizona specifically. Take a listen.
Ask you about the role of the various Republican elected officials who have bolstered what these groups are doing. We've got the Republican candidate for Secretary of State, the Republican candidate for governor. We've got at least 2 that I know of sitting Republican state senators who are pushing this effort, who are encouraging people to turn out and be vigilantes at voting sites. I wonder if you see some of these officials as bearing some of the same responsibility here.
Absolutely. Republicans from top to bottom bear responsibility. Where is Mitch McConnell calling this out? Where is Kevin McCarthy calling this out? Where are the so-called responsible leaders of the Republican Party saying having armed vigilantes at the polls, preventing people from casting their ballots in a legal way?
Again, the reason they're not calling it out is that it's not illegal. It's not happening. You're inventing it. There's no armed vigilantes. There's nobody preventing anybody from voting. There's not even the allegation of that. And we're going to get to the lawsuit in a minute. But just listen to Mark Elias.
And they're going to denounce it. Where are they? It's not just the Kerry Lakes. It's not just the state legislators in Arizona. It is from top to bottom a party that has abandoned democracy.
See, again, it's not just Trump. It's not just Kerry Lake. It's not just Ron DeSantis. It's the entire Republican Party. You think this guy's extreme? Let's go to the lawsuits. Here's his democracy docket. If you want to go check it out, it's democracydocket.com. Right-wing vigilantes sued for intimidating Arizona voters. Now, riddle me this, Batman. Why do you have to sue them in civil court if they've committed a crime? Why isn't Arizona or Biden's DOJ doing something about this? It's been reported to them. Well, that should tell you it's not illegal what's happening. And here's the lawsuit, one of them, in the United States District Court of Arizona. Here you go. If you scroll into the lawsuit, which I've already done that, sort of keep these things under 10 minutes. Here you go. Now, a couple of these people, to be sure, have been armed. Again, not illegal to be armed, right? Not even illegal to conceal if you have a concealed carry permit, or if you're in a state, I don't believe Arizona is, but if it is, if it's a state where you don't have to have it. Georgia, for example, you don't have to have a carry permit anymore. I have one, but used to not have to have it at all. But anyway, so here's somebody else. These persons right here, they're just going about their business. These people here, they've colored out their faces, but otherwise there were the faces. Here's people here with their faces open. None of this amounts to what they're claiming. What are they claiming? Well, they're claiming, count 1, Voting Rights Act of 1965. Okay, right? Here you go. Defendants, through coordinated efforts, had developed a network of volunteers and resources to cause individuals to gather in large groups at drop boxes to try to deter, quote, mules who are merely voters from using them. In some cases, defendants have escalated their efforts by encouraging individuals to show up armed, masked, and wearing tactical gear. All of this constitutes. So that's it. I'm watching a drop box. It's not illegal. It's not voter suppression. Now, you may imagine that what they're doing is trying to intimidate or threat, but there have been no threats, no intimidation made. Again, just because they showed up armed doesn't mean anything. And here's the other tell that if all you need, count two. So that was count one. Count two, the Ku Klux Klan Act. Now, folks, nobody calls it that except Mark Elias. Mark Elias and groups associated with him started this. The reason they could do that is it was passed in the aftermath of the Civil War, when you literally had armed people, armed Klansmen trying to keep all kinds of people, but mainly the new freed blacks, from exercising their right. Now, it's repugnant, right? The Republican Party, headed by Ulysses S. Grant at this point as the president, put an end to it. They passed what was then called the Ku Klux Klan Act. No more, though. It's been re-upped over and over and over again. If you ever heard of Section 1983, it's part of that original act that's been upped over and over again. Don't believe me? Take a look. Here it is right here. 42 U.S.C. Code 1985. Let's go back to the lawsuit. 42 U.S.C. Section 1985. This is the actual legal institute right here. Here's the statute. Do you see any here where it's called the Ku Klux Klan Act? Because it isn't, except by people like the Washington Post, who want to get people all riled up. The 150-year-old, it's not 150 years old, folks. It's been re-upped, right? It's been re-upped, and the name was changed to the Civil Rights Act a long time ago. Mark Elias is just out there lying. And again, this is what happens. He'd made a lot of changes to the rules, right? He caused drop boxes to be used in a lot of instances. He called mail-in voting to be used in a lot of instances. I don't have a problem with his advocacy as long as he's legal about it. But now that people are just going, okay, we're going to watch and make sure everything goes down as it should here. Now, guess what? No, that won't happen, right? They're going to go and sue you after that. And again, you heard him there in front of Rachel Maddow. If you disagree with him, you're a Nazi. And it's not just a few Republicans, it's all the Republicans. Anyway, I think I've successfully debunked this. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Please subscribe. That'll help us out a lot. And tell your friends about it. And I think we're going to try to do more of these. We just, when you have issues with your content, you just decide Anyway, we're going to try to do more of them. So if you subscribe, we'll do more of this legal stuff. People really like it. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, I hope you will tune back in for the next one.